Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is huge. This is the latest in Axios. Quote, if the Trump administration were to cut 20% of those jobs through buyouts, firings, or pressure to quit, that would result in 370,000 current government employees out of work. Why are 370,000 government employees, why is their employment being terminated? Why are they potentially being fired? And why is Elon Musk, Doge, and President Trump doing this? Hit subscribe. We'll get to, in a couple of seconds, the Secretary of State. We'll get to a Congresswoman explaining the wasteful spending. But I will explain all of this in less than a minute to you. The United States government has a budget. This budget is meant to go to agencies, departments of the U.S. government that help the American people, that further the U.S. national interest. For example, the Pentagon, Department of Defense. If it's, for example, USAID. It's not a global charity, number one, and it's not a slush fund. But unfortunately, that's how Democrats have been utilizing USAID. That has a specific purpose. It's supposed to be transparent, and it's supposed to go to certain specific projects that help people, and that's it. It's not supposed to further left-leaning ideologies. It's not supposed to foment coups within countries. It's not supposed to further Democratic Party foreign policy or Democratic Party ideals or Republican Party foreign policy or ideals. It's supposed to simply do one job. Let's say it's to feed a village. It's not supposed to ensure that that village adopts liberal ideology. So that's very simple. The way Democrats work is they say, look at what Elon Musk and Trump and Doge are doing. They're, destroying the country. And it's like, no, you created this. You created a world where a very good organization like USAID that does a lot of good things in the world is intertwined like a ball of yarn, right? Try to untangle a ball of yarn. It's not easy. USAID does good things, but the way Democrats have allocated the money, or the way Democrats and Republicans before Trump have allocated the money, USAID has been used as a carrot, as leverage, as a means to pressure other countries utilizing altruism. So the Biden administration, President Obama, the Bush administration, Bill Clinton, others, very likely, almost certainly, in many cases, we know outright, without a shadow of a doubt, these administrations utilized government agencies in a manner that they're not meant to be utilized. So, USAID, for example, a lot of really wonderful, wonderful things that it does. Why is it being scrapped? Because the altruism is used to pressure and give incentivize or pressure, or in some cases blackmail governments to adopt what the Democratic Party wants, or what the U.S. political establishment wants, whether it's an ideology or a politician or an economic system. So this is the way Democrats see things, the way wonderful, morally superior liberals see things, is that, oh my God, Trump is destroying the government. No, the government is a Byzantine labyrinth of endless wasteful spending that is allocated to not only incentivize and pressure and influence other countries through altruism within that organization, USAID, but for example, we're finding out that pundits and publications and media and public personalities are being incentivized or potentially funded, possibly, by these government organizations. The U.S. government is not a political action committee for the Democratic Party. If there is a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat that is up in arms about this, the U.S. government is not a political action committee for the United States, for the Democratic Party. Okay? Your taxpayer dollars should not go to a government-funded political action committee. And that's exactly what's been taking place. But listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This will explain things further. And hit subscribe if you're new.
You know, but Democrats like Jamie Raskin and Chuck Schumer are saying, "Oh, they're shutting down a charity work." Is that true?
It would seem not. Again, they may take a little bit of the money and do what they're supposed to do with it, but when the vast majority of the money is spent on entertainment and is slush money for other fun projects that this radical leftist administration from the past has had them work on, no, that's not where our dollars should be going. And if this is to make sure that we're having influence around the world, fine, but is it doing what it's supposed to be doing? And I think, looking at the DOGE effort to be able to go into all of these agencies, including USAID, and looking at them and making sure that those dollars are being spent correctly is exactly what we should be doing in Congress.
Yeah, it's sort of like we've been hearing that USAID has been thwarting and frustrating Congress, not giving over their paperwork and their accounting records. I mean, we know that government watchdogs like the GAO have reported massive waste, fraud, and abuse in USAID contracts in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Africa since at least 2010.
I think if most people understood where those dollars were going, that they would be more than supportive of understanding why we want to cut this off. If it was going to where they claim, where they market, that's one thing, but it's absolutely not. And it's actually not even the vast majority. We're looking at NGOs that are going exactly opposite way of something that would be proactive or good for America. They're going the exact opposite way.
So really quickly, is this constitutional? Of course it is. USAID, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice, all the intel agencies, the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, they're all under the executive branch. That's why President Trump was able to terminate the employment of the Honorable James Comey. He can fire the bureau director. He can do anything he wants within the executive branch in terms of employment. It's within the Constitution. So when they say, well, Musk can't do this, he's unelected. He's working within the executive branch, and he doesn't do anything without the okay and approval of the President of the United States of America. This is so simple to understand, my God. And so Democrats had no problem with unelected officials serving as gatekeepers for information. 50 intel officials influenced social media algorithms 5 years ago. They had no problem with that. And billionaires who own social media companies didn't just abided by that, walked in lockstep. And Democrats had no problem with the Federal Bureau of Investigation working with then Twitter, the trust and what was it called? Oh, the safety team. So you had a billionaire at Twitter before Elon Musk running a platform that was literally working with Biden's Federal Bureau of Investigation, literally working with them. And that's okay for the same Democrats that are up in arms. And the reason that Democrats don't want this type of untangling of this gigantic ball of yarn is because they benefit tremendously. The money is allocated not only to the government agency, it's siphoned and finds its way like a slush fund to potentially, we're hearing reports about a certain publication. Who knows if that's true? I don't know if that's true yet. But American media potentially, possibly, is being influenced by taxpayer dollars to further the causes and objectives and ideologies of the Democratic Party. Heaven forbid that could be true. I mean, the Democrats, not like they don't have primaries that are completely dysfunctional. Democrats cheated Bernie Sanders in 2016. They cheated Biden in 2024. Okay? They don't even act in a just and upright and moral manner within their own political party. Imagine if they're not constrained by their own constituents or their own political party. Imagine what they're capable of, the wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats, when it's the U.S. budget and allocating money and siphoning, potentially siphoning money into causes, ideologies, foreign policy that has nothing to do with the U.S. interest or the national interest. Hit subscribe to this channel. This is a huge, huge ongoing story.